When you understand the power of consciousness, when you grasp the true nature of imagination as the only creative force, you no longer chase, beg, or plead. You assume, you inhabit, you declare, and in doing so, the world rearranges itself to mirror your inner state. That is the essence of the rampage. That is the obsession. That is how they get hooked on you. Not because of manipulation, but because reality itself must bend to the truth you accept within. You are not separate from others. There is no division in consciousness. Every mind is part of the one mind. Every thought is part of the one stream. And in this stream, when you drop a stone, your intention, it ripples outward, unseen yet unstoppable. When you fix your inner gaze on the reality where they think of you obsessively, when you persist in that feeling, when you walk in the world knowing it is already done, you do not just influence their mind, you occupy it. They feel you. They hear your silence. They pick up on your presence, not because you are loud in action, but because you are loud in frequency. Your assumption is your transmission. Your imagination is your signal tower. You are not hoping they'll miss you. You are not wishing they'll call. You are not waiting they'll chase. You're living in the end where they already are, obsessed, hooked, completely captivated. This is not fantasy. This is not hope. This is law. Thought is not passive. Feeling is not powerless. You are not a spectator in your own life. You are the operant power. And when you walk with that knowing, you don't just think, you impress. You don't just want, you command. And when you command, the universe obeys. Now listen carefully, because this is where the game shifts. When you sit still and declare in your mind, they cannot stop thinking of me. They are obsessed with me. My image lives in their mind. And you do not contradict it with doubt or lack or fear, you are planting seeds in the field of their consciousness. They may not understand why they suddenly crave your presence. They may not logically know where the desire comes from, but you do, because you placed it there. You walk through your day as if their obsession is a fact, not a possibility, not a maybe, a reality. You feel it in your bones. You rehearse it with your senses. You hear their voice in your mind calling out to you. You see their eyes lighting up with desire. You imagine them restless, unable to focus, lost in thoughts of you. You saturate your being with this knowing. Not once, not twice, but rampantly, relentlessly, obsessively. And that's when the mirror cracks. That's when the resistance melts. That's when the tide turns. Because what you're doing is not forcing anyone. You are not violating free will. You are activating the truth that they too are you. There is no separation. There is no other. The one you desire is simply a reflection of your state of consciousness. And when you shift your state, the reflection must change. They begin to dream about you. They hear songs and think of you. They check their phone instinctively, hoping to see your name. They wake up in the middle of the night with your face lingering in their mind. And they do not know why, but you do, because obsession is not created through action. It is transmitted through imagination, sustained through repetition, and made manifest through belief. You are not manipulating, you are aligning, you are remembering that the world is yourself pushed out, that your inner world is the cause, that telepathy is not fiction. It is the language of consciousness. And consciousness always speaks first to those who dare to listen. Feel it now, right now. Feel what it's like to be wanted. Not casually, not mildly, but wildly, fanatically, obsessively. Feel what it's like to know you are on their mind in the quiet hours of the night. Feel what it's like to know you are the first thought when they wake and the last image before they sleep. Feel it and hold it, marinate in it. Let it take over your body like a fever, because the universe does not care about words. It responds to states. It reacts to certainty. It bows to your conviction. And when you move from wanting to having, from waiting to declaring, from seeking to knowing, it is already done. They feel you in their chest, in their skin, in the electric silence between distractions. They are drawn to you without understanding. They look into other faces, but they only see you. They try to forget, but every attempt only burns your image deeper into their mind. This is not coincidence. This is creation. You created this when you stopped begging and began embodying. You may look at the outer world and see no evidence. You may hear silence. You may see absence. But don't let that fool you. Don't let the 3D world deceive you. The echo takes time to reach the mountain. The seed takes time to sprout. But it is happening underneath, behind the scenes, in the invisible realm where thought is the only substance. In that realm you already reign. This is your rampage. This is your moment of relentless inner declaration, not out of desperation, but out of power. You are not asking them to love you. You are deciding they already do. You are not chasing their attention. You are soaking in the truth that they are magnetized to you, hooked, addicted, unable to break the pull. And so you don't question. You don't doubt. You don't react to what is. You remain loyal to what you have declared. You persist in your assumption until it hardens into fact, until the text comes, until the visit happens, until the confession arrives, and even then you don't act surprised. You simply smile because you knew it all along. This is the true nature of telepathy. It is not about thinking hard. It is not about effort. It is about embodiment. It is about becoming the version of you that is already desired, already irresistible, already unforgettable. And when you live from that state, the signal you send is clear, unwavering, and irresistible. There are no limits here, no boundaries, no need to be timid. You are consciousness itself. You are the dreamer of the dream. You are the source and the sender. You are the one they crave, because you have claimed that reality as yours. You do not wait for permission. You do not ask for signs. You declare. You persist. You trust. You walk in the knowing that your world is your mirror, and if you want to see a different reflection, you don't attack the mirror. You change your face. You change your state. You inhabit the end. Right now, they are feeling you, whether they speak it or not, whether they fight it or not. They are sensing the shift. They are being pulled. Because obsession is not loud in the beginning. It is subtle. It is a whisper, a quiet restlessness, a sudden longing. And then it grows and grows until it becomes undeniable. You planted the seed, and now the vine wraps around their thoughts. You entered their mind, and now your presence lingers like perfume. This is not illusion. This is precision. This is deliberate, conscious, targeted imagination. And the mind that holds it unwaveringly is the mind that rules the experience. So take your eyes off the clock, off the calendar, off the external. You are not here to react. You are here to create. You are not a victim of chance. You are the voice of destiny, whispering its own reality into being. Let it be done. Let it be now. Let the obsession begin, not through force, but through truth. Not through struggle, but through stillness. Because the moment you say, they are hooked on me, and you mean it, not from ego, but from inner alignment, you ignite the signal, You light the fire, you stir the field of consciousness to reflect your new state. And when the world catches up, you will not be surprised, because this is who you are, the magnet, the source, the one who chose, believed, assumed, and became. And so you wake up each morning not asking what might happen, but declaring what already is. You rise into the awareness that you are now being thought of, longed for, dreamt about. You move through your day knowing your image is etched into their awareness like ink on paper, permanent, undeniable, unforgettable. You don't flinch at delays. You don't react to silence. You don't spiral into doubt. Why? Because you've already accepted the end. You've already installed the version of reality where they're hooked on you. And now your only job is to persist without shaking. Persistence is not about repetition for the sake of effort. It is the embodiment of unwavering knowing. You persist in the feeling that your assumption is truth, that it is the only reality. And in doing so, you change timelines. You collapse probability. You force reality to yield to your self-concept. You don't try to believe. They're obsessed with you. You walk in the world as if you know it so deeply that even the sun rises to reflect your truth. What you claim in imagination must express itself. This is not a nice idea. It is the law. It is how everything unfolds, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. When you imagine from the state of being the one who is desired, craved, and obsessed over, you are laying tracks in the unseen realm. You are constructing the version of your life that will inevitably show up. And do not fear their resistance. Do not be swayed by their current behavior. Understand that their outer expression is but a shadow of your old assumption. They may look away today, but it means nothing. They may post things that trigger you. They may act indifferent, but their soul has already received your message. Their mind has already begun to spiral toward you, because thought, when felt with conviction, is contagious. It seeps, it spreads, it anchors itself. You hold the frequency of being unforgettable. And that frequency cannot be ignored. You are not hoping they love you. You are living as if they already do. You do not wait to be chosen. You walk as the one who is already chosen. You don't imagine they might crave you. You assume they cannot help themselves. This is your rampage. The divine storm of intention, emotion, and imagination. Not chaotic but precise. Not desperate but determined. You walk through your inner world, declaring again and again, they are obsessed with me. They cannot stop thinking of me. I dominate their mind. I haunt their dreams. I own their desire, and it is not spoken in arrogance. It is spoken in alignment. You are not tricking the universe. You are simply reprogramming the reflection. The moment you believe differently, the mirror must change. You see, everything that is manifest is the result of an internal command. It obeys you. It must. It has no power of its own. The only power it has is what you assign to it. So if you say they are distant, unavailable, cold, that is what you affirm. But the moment you shift, the moment you withdraw your attention from what is and place it on what must be, the fabric of this reality begins to unravel and reform. Imagination is not daydreaming, it is causation. Feeling is not weakness, it is the signal. And your job is to feel so intensely, so surely, that the energy around you begins to warp and recalibrate. People begin acting differently. Messages come out of nowhere, conversations shift tone. They look at you and there's a spark they cannot name. You've invaded their reality without lifting a finger, because you dared to declare the end. And you keep declaring it, not to make it happen, but because it is already done. You don't imagine to make it real. You imagine because it is real. And the more you dwell in that truth, the more stable your manifestation becomes. It is no longer a desire, it is a state. And states are sticky. They call to themselves. They do not ask, they draw. So you sit quietly, close your eyes, and feel it again. The obsession, the pull, the gravitational need they feel for you. You hear their voice in your mind saying, I can't stop thinking about you. I need you. I crave you. I don't know what's happening, but I'm hooked. You breathe it in. You smile, not because you need it, but because it's already yours. And if your mind says, but there's no proof, you reply, my inner world is the proof. My feeling is the evidence. The outer world will catch up. It must. And you go deeper. You flood your imagination with details. You walk through scenes. You feel their touch, their words, their longing. You smell their scent. You hear their laughter. You enter the scene and become the actor, not the observer. And you do this over and over until it is more real than what your eyes can see. Because reality bends for those who refuse to bow to what is. Reality conforms to the imaginer who refuses to let go of their vision. The obsessed becomes the obsession. The focused becomes the focus. You are not separate from them. You are joined by consciousness. And the moment you shift, they feel it. They may not admit it, they may not understand it, but they feel it. Suddenly they remember a moment with you. Suddenly they feel nostalgic. Suddenly they scroll past a picture that triggers something deep. These are not accidents. These are the fruits of your inner declaration. You spoke into the unseen, and now the unseen is echoing into the visible. So keep going. Don't stop when it looks quiet. Don't slow down when there's no response. That is when the work is being done. That is when the energy is aligning. That is when the cement is drying. You don't plant a seed and dig it up each day to check if it's growing. You trust the soil of your consciousness. You water it with belief. You bask it in the sun of persistence. They are hooked. You don't need to question that. You don't need to doubt. Every moment you return to your chosen state, you reinforce the reality you want. And repetition is power, not mechanical repetition, but heartfelt, charged, intentional repetition. Each time you declare it, you turn the dial on your vibration. Each time you feel it, you deepen the imprint, until eventually it becomes so real within that it bursts into form without. Do not confuse lack of movement with lack of manifestation. Sometimes the biggest changes are the quietest. Sometimes the most powerful shifts happen in silence. That moment when they suddenly go still, when they stop responding, when they pull away, it is often because your signal is landing. They are digesting, they are receiving, and so you continue. Because that is what creators do. They don't wait. They generate. They don't plead, they proclaim. They don't react, they imagine. You are not here to watch. You are here to architect reality. And your blueprints are your assumptions. Your materials are your feelings. Your tools are your words. Build wisely. Right now, in this moment, they are thinking of you. And that thought feels different to them. It's deeper, it lingers, it stirs something, and they cannot trace it because it did not come from a text or a call or a photo. It came from you, from your inner declaration. It came from your silence that roared, your stillness that spoke. This is what it means to be the operant power. This is what it means to create consciously. You don't need to chase what is already yours. You don't need to convince what is already convinced. You need only to live in the end and let the bridge unfold. So you relax into the knowing, you relax into the certainty that you have already been chosen, already been claimed, already been missed. The obsession is not arriving, it has arrived. And now you are simply tuning into it like a signal that's always been playing, waiting for you to dial in. The clarity grows, as you let go of the old story, the old doubts, the old fear-based narrative that said you were separate. You are not separate. You are the cause, you are the source, you are the echo and the original sound. You feel it moving now, don't you? That inner pulse of power, that quiet whisper that says it is done, not in the future, now. And you smile, not to fake it, but because the truth brings peace. You realize you were never lacking love. You were never waiting for attention. You were always the beloved, always the desired, always the one they were destined to crave. You just had to remember. You just had to reclaim your throne in consciousness. Let it surge through you. Let the feeling of being wanted wrap around you like a warm cloak. Walk into rooms with the unshakable energy that says, they're thinking about me right now. Move through conversations with the confidence that your energy has already marked their soul. You are unforgettable, not because you try to be, but because you already are. And if your mind tries to argue, if it tries to show you images of rejection, of distance, of silence, you don't fight it. You transcend it. You shift your attention back to the truth. You close your eyes, take a breath, and return to the scene, the one you've crafted, the one where they hold your face and say, I've never wanted anyone the way I want you. I can't stop thinking of you. You're in my mind all the time. And you don't visit that scene like a tourist. You move into it. You occupy it like a home. You sit in its furniture, you drink its coffee, you wear its feeling, you let it imprint your nervous system so deeply that it becomes more real than any fact the world tries to show you. You're not begging them to love you, you're remembering that they already do. You're not sending out a call, you're answering one. The call that's been echoing in the space between thoughts. The call that says, where are you? I miss you. I can't forget you. Because the truth is, they're already connected to you. The obsession has already begun. You feel it now, that quiet certainty under your skin, that deep inner knowing that reality is reshaping itself to match your inner decree. And so you say it again, but not out loud, within, they're hooked on me. My name lingers in their mind. My energy floods their chest. They are haunted by me in the most delicious way. I dominate their dreams. I dance through their thoughts. I am the pulse they cannot silence. And each time you say it, you believe it more. Each time you declare it, the signal strengthens. The field responds. This is the secret. Not trying, not hoping, not waiting, but knowing. Knowing that the inner world must become the outer. Knowing that your thoughts are prayers and your feelings are the ritual. You become what you repeatedly feel. You attract what you boldly assume. You manifest what you dare to claim. And you don't need to rush. There is no pressure because it's already done. You walk in time, but your creation exists outside of it. You are not here to force. You are here to allow the divine orchestration to bring you what your inner state demands. You don't chase, you radiate. And your radiance is irresistible. They are restless now. You can feel it. They're distracted. They're scrolling but not seeing. They're talking but not present. Because your energy has penetrated their awareness. You are the undercurrent to their every thought. Their soul has received the broadcast, and now their human self is scrambling to understand why they can't escape you. But you don't worry about their timeline. You stay loyal to the end. You return again and again to the state where they are yours. Not out of control, but out of love, out of connection, out of the magnetic pull that binds what was always meant to be. You don't need to check your phone every hour. You don't need to chase signs, the obsession has already begun. And every time you return to the scene, to the feeling, to the knowing, you are layering the reality deeper. You are carving it into the subconscious until it becomes default, until it becomes natural. And when it feels natural, it must express. When it feels ordinary to be desired, the world reflects it effortlessly. You are now the one they speak about when they're alone, the one who appears in their dreams without invitation, the one they compare everyone else to, and no one else matches. You are now the standard, the fantasy, the ache, and you do not try to become this. You simply accept that you already are. They are hooked, yes, but not through manipulation, not through games, through alignment, through the sheer power of your imagined certainty. You are not moving them with force. You are moving them with frequency. And frequency is the language of creation. So you stay in it. All day you stay in it. When you walk as if they are behind you. When you eat as if they are watching you. When you sleep knowing they are thinking of you. Not because it's a trick, but because it's true. And this truth grows roots the more you water it with attention. Reality bends for the one who dares to feel before they see. Reality responds to the one who feels the truth so deeply that the world cannot help but conform. And now your job is simple. Persist. Not with effort, but with ease, with trust, with conviction, because what you have imagined is already echoing across dimensions. The version of them who is obsessed with you exists now. The version of you who receives the love, the attention, the pull, that version is here. Choose to live from that version. Speak from it, think from it, feel from it, and all else will be added. This is the rampage. Not a frantic outburst, but a steady flood of knowing, not chaos, but calm, deliberate creation. You are not spinning out of control. You are locking into the truth, and the truth is you are magnetic. You are divine. You are the one they cannot let go of. So breathe in, hold it, let it fill your chest, and say again in silence or aloud, they're hooked on me, they need me, they feel me, they want me. They can't stay away. And feel no resistance, feel only ease, because this is not a lie. It is the most natural truth. You are the beloved. You are the focus. You are the dream made flesh. And as you persist in this knowing, the world will bow to your assumption. Because you are not becoming, you already are. And now you move through life as if nothing is missing. You don't look around corners. You don't wait for confirmation. You are the confirmation. You are the anchor. You are the living proof of the state fulfilled. You carry yourself differently. Not arrogantly, but assuredly. You speak less, but your presence roars. Because obsession isn't always loud, but it is always constant. It hums underneath every moment and builds like pressure behind a dam until it breaks into action. You don't chase that action. You embody the pressure. You become the flood. There's a fire within you now, isn't there? A knowing that has replaced the doubt. A stillness that is louder than noise. You are no longer hoping they'll reach out. You know they will. You are no longer trying to win their love. You are living in the glow of it. You are the prize, not because you need to be, but because you finally remembered that you always were. You are the one, the magnetic one, the unforgettable one, the one they can't stop imagining. You don't have to convince anyone of your worth. You have to only claim it. And now, your imagination is no longer a tool. It is your world. You no longer use it to escape. You use it to create. Every scene you build, every feeling you sustain, every inner conversation you repeat is etching your reality. It is not passive. It is not for play. It is for power. You are holding them in your mind now. Not with fear, but with certainty. Not with need, but with dominion. You don't need them to be obsessed. You know they already are. That knowing replaces every ounce of desperation. They wake up with your name on their lips. They feel you before their eyes open. They check their phone, unsure of what they're looking for, but hoping it's you. They go through their day distracted, unable to focus, haunted by your essence. And they can't explain it. They don't understand it. But you do. Because you are the one who planted the seed. You are the one who made the declaration. You are the one who occupies their mind with quiet insistence. And what you occupy consistently must grow, must expand, must express. There is no other way. You don't need to wait years. You don't need to struggle. You don't need to play games. You need only to return again and again to the inner world where you are already theirs, already wanted, already worshipped. You are not becoming the obsession. Let that settle. Let it take root. Feel it wrap around your spine like electricity. You are not hoping they see your value. You are vibrating with it. You are not wondering if you're enough. You are exuding it. Your energy has entered their mind like a storm. It weaves through their thoughts, colors their memories, reshapes their desires. You didn't need to say a word. You didn't need to chase them. You just aligned. And the alignment did what effort never could. It compelled. They may try to distract themselves. They may pretend they are unaffected. But inside, the current is building. You are the hum beneath their quiet moments. The face that won't go away, the feeling that won't fade. This is the telepathic link that binds. Not made of wires, but of will. Not built through words, but through being. They feel you in the silence, in the spaces between distractions. And the more you hold the end in your mind, the more inescapable it becomes. You are not waiting. You are not wishing. You are claiming. You are declaring. You are standing so deep in the truth of your assumption that reality bends to match it. Because this universe is obedient to belief. It cannot help but conform. The moment you refuse to yield to the illusion of lack, the moment you hold steady in your chosen reality, all things begin to move. This is not about obsession for the sake of validation. It's about remembrance. It's about reclaiming your natural state, the one where you are loved, wanted, adored, seen. You do not need to struggle for attention. You radiate it. You do not need to earn affection. You exist in it. You do not need to wait for love. You are the source of it. They feel that. They feel the difference. The moment you stop grasping and begin commanding, the energy shifts. The moment you walk like the one who is already chosen, the dance changes. You no longer orbit around them. They begin to gravitate toward you. Because obsession begins with self-possession. When you own your inner world, you own the reflection. And so now, in this moment, you drop every ounce of doubt. You release every remnant of disbelief. You replace it with knowing, with feeling, with embodiment. You are no longer reaching, you are radiating. You are no longer hoping they respond, you are certain they will. You do not depend on their words for validation. You trust your imagination as truth. Feel them thinking of you now. Feel their heartbeat quicken at the thought of you. Feel them scrolling through your pictures. Hear their voice in your mind whispering your name, not because you need it, but because it's real, because this is the telepathic rampage. This is the obsessive frequency you've chosen to live in. And when you live there consistently, they cannot escape it. They do not want to escape it. They are hooked. They don't know how or why, but they are. And as you keep your focus on the end, the bridge unfolds. Conversations happen, coincidences multiply, encounters occur. But you don't credit the bridge, you credit the cause, your cause, your inner state, your relentless assumption. Because that's what this is, a beautiful, deliberate, powerful assumption. An assumption, when held, is fact. It overrides appearance. It dominates circumstance. It outlasts resistance. It outshines delay. You are not moved by what is, you are moved by what must be. And what must be is your chosen end. They love you. They crave you. They need you. They are hooked. So feel no fear, feel no doubt, feel only the wave of your own power rising within you. You're no longer chasing breadcrumbs, you're commanding the feast. You're no longer waiting to be remembered. You are unforgettable. You are no longer hoping to be chosen. You are chosen already. That is the power of assumption. That is the essence of this rampage. That is the fire of obsessive telepathy. And the more you dwell in this fire, the more magnetic you become, not just to them, but to life. You become a walking signal, a tuning fork of desire. You become the frequency that draws everything good toward you. Not through desperation, but through dominion. Not through effort, but through embodiment. Keep going, keep imagining, keep assuming, keep feeling, not because you need to manifest it, but because it's already yours. And because it's yours, it must come. Because it's yours, the bridge must form. Because it's yours, they must move, not because you forced it, but because you became it. You don't have to do anything more than that. Just keep becoming, keep embodying, keep returning to the end where they are obsessed, hooked, in love, thinking about you every moment, dreaming of you every night, longing for you every morning. And when they come, and they will, you won't be surprised. You'll simply smile. Because this is the world you imagine. This is the world you assume. This is the world you now live in.